Hello and welcome. This is the BOE Varitronix booth, and we're proud to introduce some of the display technologies that we're showcasing here at CES 2022. And let's start off with our OLED display technology. Our OLED display technology is self-emissive, and you can see it provides very high brightness display. So you can see it at all angles. And not just that, it has very fast response time. So again, some of the applications are tail lights and even headlights. And these are monochrome type displays. Not to say that we can only do monochrome, but we also can do full color OLED. Another display technology, and that is our 3D displays. And you might not be able to capture this 3D display, that we partner up with both C-Cubic and Bosch. And this is using a lenticular type display with a very high resolution. And the reason why we're using a very high resolution is that the resolution is split between your left and right eye to give you that depth of field that you see. To introduce you now to our MiniLED technology, and this is to showcase a very high contrast type. And one of the complaints that we've noticed and received from our customers is the blacks are really not black. You know, the backlight bleeds through the areas that aren't supposed to be on, as you see right now. And one of the solutions that we have is to miniaturize the LEDs. And in miniaturizing the LEDs, we're able to focus more on the areas that do need light. And here you can see the mini LEDs are turned on where it should be turned on, so it gives you that localized dimming. To another display technology that also gives you a very premium contrast, 100,000 to 1, is what we call our dual cell. Our dual cell technology adds in an optical cell to modulate light in a very, very small pixel area. And that provides very minimum halo to provide a very, very good contrast. Another application for OLED. You've seen earlier it's with a tail light, and here's another tail light application for OLED. It gives very excellent response time, very high brightness. So this is perfect for a brake light application. So you've seen the single color OLED so far. Now we're presenting to you a full color OLED automotive grade. This is our 12.8 inch AM OLED in a resolution of 1728 by 1888. It's a square type. That is in production in some electric vehicles overseas in Asia. And the reason why we're using OLED is because it provides superior contrast. Nothing can really beat OLED in terms of contrast, color, and brightness. Now we move on to our 3D technology. It's another type of 3D technology with head tracking, meaning that we have a camera system that tracks your eye movement, and with that tracking, it'll provide you that depth of field that you need for this 3D display.
So we have another demo, which is called light sensing display panel, together with a very narrow border between two displays. So the active area between the left display and right display is only 5 mm, which exceeds the industrial requirement. They were talking about 10 mm, but BOE can do 5 mm. So apart from that, a lot of our customers would like to have the light sensor on the front side of the display, but usually if we want to do that, you might need to waste space on the left or right or upside for around 4 mm. That customers don't like it. So BOE provides a solution called light sensing display panel. This light sensor is embedded on the TFT module right on top of the active area, which will not be visible because the height is only 16 micrometer. So we can use a light to do the demonstration to simulate. And there's an external light when there's outdoor sunlight shining through the light sensor. So it will automatically tune up the brightness so that to compete with sunlight to make sure the display is readable. When the sunlight go out, then the display luminance gradually go back to general units. This is our cockpit demo showing different display technology in our car. So first of all, we can show you our cockpit display, 25-inch dual cell display combined with two 12.3-inch display with 3000 millimeter radius curvature, and they are both optically bonded to one single cover lens. Both of the display are using dual cell technology, so you can see the contrast is over 100K to 1, and the brightness is around 1000. The right hand side is with the in-cell touch, so we can try to do this, move up and down very smooth, and it has a very good HMI to show. Going to the right hand side, we have a 12.3-inch POD display, which is an active privacy filter display. A lot of customers would like to have a passenger entertainment display on the right hand side of the passenger, but they want to make sure driver didn't get distracted. BOE developed this POD display to make sure there will be a share mode and privacy mode for this display. So during the share mode, driver will be able to see the display, but during the privacy mode, while the driver is driving, they are not able to see the display. And then going down, there's our 12.8-inch OLED display with touch that's going to production in next month.
So the question is, you've seen all these display technologies. What does it all mean? You know, all these 3D, mini-LED, OLED, dual cell. What does it all mean? What is it? Where can it be applied? So right now we have a production vehicle, and we want to showcase this production vehicle and see how these display technologies work inside a production vehicle. So let me take you through this vehicle. Vehicle, it's filled with the electronics, including display technologies. So in the instrument cluster, this is a 12.3-inch digital display. It's a full display, digital LCD, and it's important to understand high contrast, high brightness, because if you're driving in the daytime, you'll have to have a certain setting, and if you're driving in the evening, then they'll have a different type of setting. But most importantly, we focus on quality, performance, as well as safety to make sure that it meets the requirements of the user. So the type of display technology that we input into the cluster is very important. Not to say that the other electronics is not important. Also, the center information display, it is also important to us because we have to understand that there is environmental lighting, other factors that can affect the contrast and can affect the performance. So we have to understand all these requirements to make sure we deliver the correct technology into a production vehicle that can be used day to day. So that wraps up our show for this year at CES 2022, and hopefully you found this informative with the display technologies that we showcased. And if you have any questions, please reach out to BOE Varitronix. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.